Hello Aquarius, how are you? Welcome to your October 2017 reading. Thanks so much for being here. Before we begin, I did want to do a quick astrology highlight for you, just so you know and are aware of something that's going on in the sky that's really exciting. We have Jupiter entering the sign of Scorpio, okay, on October 10th, October 10th. And this is really great for you guys because it's entering at the very top of your chart in your 10th house. That's the ruler of your career and your reputation and in terms of recognition and awards and things like that. So I think some of you are going to be experiencing expansion in your career, and usually with expansion in career comes additional finances as well. You may be making major transitions or aligning yourself with something that has more purpose in your life, because Jupiter being a highly spiritual planet, okay? And I think you guys have been experiencing a lot of, what do I want to do? How do I want to contribute in my life or in this lifetime and to the world? And what do I really want to do to really give back and to make my mark? And this is going to be a really great year for you to do that. But while you're doing that, I just want you to be aware, because as people are growing and expanding and, having things going on for them, sometimes people can get a little bit jealous, or sometimes people can kind of try to work actively against you, okay? Not to scare you or anything, but sometimes that's just kind of, the hazard of growth and expansion. And it'll be an important time for you to keep your true allies really close and to really weed out those people that maybe you really don't need in your life anymore. All right, so I'll go ahead and put my camera down. We'll get started with the reading. Thanks. Hello, Aquarius. Okay, let's go ahead and begin. I've already been shuffling the cards and I think that they're about ready. Let me just give you a couple shuffles here on camera. Oh, we got one popping out, the Princess of Pentacles. She's weirdly been coming out a lot in the readings this month. I've only done 4 readings so far, but she has been coming out. I don't know if it's the earth signs are kind of, being a little bit talkative or a little aggressive or even a little bit demanding, or maybe you are kind of the one doing an outreach, because a lot of times this is could go either way, someone reaching out to you or you reaching out to, or someone else reaching out to you, I'm sorry. It could be that, that there is growth in the career department like I was talking about, financial increase, all types of things. Let me go back to the earth signs for just a minute, because I do feel that they are kind of getting a little bit antsy or a little bit demanding, where they have a lot of kind of expressed opinions or opinions that they feel like are really beneficial to people, and they're not really having any issues really saying them this month either. So if you are dealing with an earth sign, just kind of take it for what it is and know that they aren't trying to hurt you in any way, or they're not trying to, I don't know, there's good intentions behind it, even if it may be a little bit annoying for you, okay? So, I don't know, I'm just kind of getting that vibe from a lot of different people, actually some of my privates as well. And the earth signs are definitely speaking up, making their presence known. And the 5 of Swords, if this speaks to you in terms of a relationship, this is a partner or an ex, or even, friendships, someone, 5 of Swords can be about recurring patterns, recurring bad habits, and continuing in cyclical type of behavior. And the cyclical behavior can often be, it's a toxic situation sometimes. And while you might really be wanting to focus a lot on yourself, on your growth, on attaining balance, and, sometimes you need to pull attention from this area a little bit and give it to this one, just so that they're kind of equally matched. And someone may really be trying to either get you to, like I said, notice them, pay attention to them. And you're going to kind of really need to recognize their place in your life. Really, what is the benefit of this person? Really, what is the benefit of this connection or this relationship? And hopefully some of you are leaving some of the toxic stuff in the past. You're leaving it behind, and you are marching forward toward making your life better. With or without them doesn't matter, but you're marching forward to making your life better. Hopefully you aren't going to be participating in that cyclical issue or that cyclical disagreement or fight, or, you know, it's like something maybe resurfacing for you. Now, if you don't hear from an earth sign, okay, and it's not romantic, it can just be an opportunity of some kind. Again, most likely financial or in the work realm, a new client, something like that. And the King of Pentacles. What did I say about the earth signs? And now we're getting the King of Pentacles, which is, you know, card of Taurus, all right? Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. You being a fixed air sign, them being fixed earth. It's very likely that you're dealing with stubbornness here, and it might be coming from both sides. Because I think that you think that you're as right as they think that they are as right. You know, and if you're not in a disagreement of any kind, it's just like unwanted or unneeded or unnecessary, like, tension. Like, ugh. Yeah, the earth signs are stirring it up. They're stirring it up. The Wheel of Fortune. Some of you really may be undergoing a shift in connection, shift in relationships, and this Five of Swords, because the Five of Swords can be about, it can be a tension or a toxic situation. I often say with this card that there are no winners here. That whatever arguments you have, whatever, you know, whoever quote unquote wins, it doesn't really, they don't really win because the price is usually so high, and it costs respect for one another. It costs attention. It costs energy, right? So when you're dealing with the Five of Swords or someone that is draining you, or, you know, you're draining each other or something like that, this is a card, goodwill, good fortune. Again, talking about Jupiter, Wheel of Fortune, the Lord of the forces of life. This is about letting time pass. This is about letting things shift on their own. Because a Five of Swords is not necessarily something that you can really control. It's something that you just have to kind of let it sift through. You just have to let it simmer down and let it leave. And, you know, Wheel of Fortune always brings about sunshine. You know, it's the sun moving through the wheel of the zodiac. That's really essentially what it is, the symbolism here. And when we talk about the sun, we talk about positive changes, positive new directions. We talk about happiness, and we talk about, you know, peace. And I feel like peace is a very underrated goal. You know, I feel like peace and tranquility, you know, they're very much outshined by happiness. We always want to be happy. We want to be, you know, on an adventure. We want to be all these things. But you must kind of attain peace first, right? And I think that that's what this Wheel of Fortune is really, it's going to get you there first, and you will find it. You will find this place where you no longer want to engage in this Five of Swords situation. You no longer want to argue. You no longer want to talk about it. You no longer want to try to convince someone to see it your way. And the King of Pentacles, oh my goodness, you know, when we talk about the Taurus energy, we talk about someone who's like they're beautiful people, but they can be really hard-headed. That's kind of their MO. That's their negative stereotype, right? So when we're talking about the archetypes of these cards and tarot, that's kind of, you're dealing with someone who's very hard-headed and who's not just going to just let it lie. Because Aquarius wants to just move on. You know, your air sign, you move, you shift, you adjust, you go, 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 go. But you're still fixed. So you're operating at the air and the earth levels. And it's, you know, it's a little too different, you know? And now we have the Seven of Swords. So these are my least favorite sword cards coming out. Seven of Swords. And I feel like there's just a situation that's just irritating. Like nails down a chalkboard. It's just, it kind of grits on your nerves. And I think you're just kind of sitting and waiting, kind of like a lion ready to pounce, just waiting for the energy to shift. And I'm not going to say that you're necessarily waiting for this person to change or that they are waiting for you to change or anything like that. I think more so it's just you're waiting for things to not be a big deal, you know, because you've said everything that you could say. Aquarius, your words, you're so good with communication, you know, and you've said what you needed to say, or it's all out there already. You know, and I think that on some level, you know that participating in this, whatever this is for you, participating it is just a form of, it's like one step forward, two steps back, one step forward, two steps back. So you're constantly one step behind. And I think you recognize the exponential effect of that. It's like the less likely you are to get ahead, you know, it just seems farther and farther away. So you may be going in a bit of a quiet place. Maybe some of you not, but I'm sensing a quiet place or a need for this quiet place, this need for peace. You know, Wheel of Fortune, you're waiting for Lady Fortune to kind of cajole and manipulate the situation in a way that you can kind of get out. And not that you specifically feel trapped, because it's very likely this is someone that you care about, you know, and you just can't see eye to eye on something. And the Nine of Pentacles. So I'm not doing reversals, guys. With this deck, I don't necessarily feel that I need it. So Nine of Pentacles. When we're talking about just your energy in general, we're talking about someone who's self-sufficient and independent, okay, where someone doesn't necessarily need or want a relationship. They're okay with being alone. They're okay with their life the way it's going because they have other goals. You know, there are goals maybe in spite of the relationship. Maybe it's financial independence, okay, or maybe it's, you know, in terms of your living situation or something like that. This is also financial stability, material gain, right? And we just talked about Jupiter and your 10th house and all of that. So there are gains imminent. And I think last month there was also something in your reading for you about that, like just kind of waiting for things to come in. And maybe hopefully something came in for you, something positive, something good, which kind of like took your focus. And so you're like, I don't really need to deal with this anymore. I just gotta, you know, I'm just gonna move on and focus on what I have going on. And if you're in a relationship, you know, it's important to communicate, but I just think that communication's a little bit like a brick wall right now, especially with this person. There's no bending going on here. So if you're not going to bend and they're not going to bend, you know, what can you do? It's advisable for you to really look within. And if someone's really irritating you and really like jabbing at nerves, then it's important for you to take a moment to look inside and ask yourself why it bothers you so much and really get down to the root of the issue. But sometimes it's not so deep. Sometimes it's not so meaningful. Sometimes you really are just different. And likely this is not someone who's going to look within and do soul searching. You know, they can be. They're a good, stable, smart, intelligent, successful person in some regards. But they're not the most in tune with really what motivates them because they're just so forward going, and they just kind of like, okay, well, this is my life and this is what it is. And can you really be expected to look deep within if they aren't going to be looking deep within either, kind of thing? So you're just doing your own thing. Nine of Pentacles. wealth, career, feeling comfortable, finding stability, finding goodness, and enjoying the benefits of what you've worked so hard for. Maybe there are some form of gains headed your way. Maybe there are some form of, you know, something that you do or that you decide that you really want in terms of something you want to purchase, you know, or something you want to celebrate what it is you've accomplished. Be careful that you're not, you know, avoiding something though. Death, transformation, okay? I mean, this has been a common theme all year, so it doesn't surprise me that it's still kind of coming out because, you know, transformation is a long process that absolutely does not happen overnight. If you're in a relationship, your relationship has gone through a transformation itself. You have gone through a transformation independent from your partner. And, you know, it may be really time for you to get to know your partner all over again, like almost as though it's new. Because when death occurs, and with all the retrogrades this year, I mean, it's just been like one after the next, after the next, after the next, like sometimes 4 or 5 going on at a time. You know, we really just got bombarded with a lot of things that just weren't pushing through, and there were a lot of arguments, and I think we all kind of found some form of escape, whether it was escape in work or escape in actual vices. Some of us had unhealthy vices, right? And it's like we were hiding with underneath the covers, you know? But now's the time for us to take the covers off and to kind of confront the circumstances, you know? You can't avoid it any longer. Learning about who the people that are around you, who are they, who have they become, who are you, who have you become? Can you continue to be in love? Can you continue to maintain a relationship or a connection? Can you continue working for this person? Can you continue dealing with your father in this manner? Whoever this person is, okay, your connection with them has changed. You see them differently, they see you differently, and you know, the outcome of that is going to vary for many of you. You know, some of you, you fall even more in love. Others of you, you really do go your own way. And you decide, okay, I really just don't need this person in my life anymore. And you wash your hands of it and you say, okay, better things are coming. Better things are coming, by the way, because when you have the 9 of Pentacles, it always indicates that, you know, the 10 is eminent, right? The 10 is the next step. And we always want to get to the 10 because it's the fullest, it's the most. When we're talking about Pentacles and even Cups, you know, those are the more positive of them. They are about generosity and love and openness and family, togetherness, emotional fulfillment, success, all types of things that are positive. So you're going in the right direction, you know. There's no need for you to step backwards. And if someone is, like I said, making you do a 2 steps backwards thing, then it's time to be reconsidered. Okay, 7 of Cups. And the 8 of Cups. I will pull out 2 or 3 more at the end here. So 7 of Cups and the 8 of Cups. 7 of Cups is about confusion, but 8 of Cups is about leaving that confusion behind. 8 of Cups is a point of decision, right? It's very much about, okay, I know what I need, and what I need isn't here. Now, if you're in a relationship or if you're in a marriage and you're still going to continue to be married, look, your relationship is different and your goals are different. And it's important for the 2 of you to really sit down and to get together and say, look, we are shifting, we are adjusting just as the Wheel of Fortune, just as sure as the sun transits through the zodiac, our relationship is doing the same thing. So let's get back on the same page You know, let's really talk about where it is we're going. And if we really can't find a middle ground, then maybe it's time for us to think of other options or get creative and think of something totally different or something totally opposite. Let's forget what it was we originally wanted and say, maybe we want something else. Get creative, get idealistic, and don't be afraid to dream big, you know, because the dreaming big is what's going to enable you to open the channels, to open the right opportunities for those things to actually come to fruition. I'm really sensing a lot of pushback from this person. I don't really quite know why. You know, why are they being so stubborn? Why are they being so like persistent in getting your attention, being so persistent, like, look at me, this is what I need. And Aquarius, you're a giving sign, just as anyone can be. Any sign can be giving, but there's a limit to that, especially when this person could maybe be a little bit just kind of needy, you know? And it's almost as though they might be needing validation. They might be needing, you know, recognition or ego stroking or something like that, just to kind of make them feel better, to make them feel self-assured in your connection or your relationship. But definitely there's an element of leaving something behind, someone behind, a situation, an argument, leaving it behind. You know, like I said, you're not hiding under the covers anymore. There's no room for that. So you got to come out and kind of face the music and now move on. You don't have to, I think that this is not something that you guys really want to dwell on. It's not something that you're really that emotionally connected to anymore. There's not a lot of positive cups here. You know, 7 of Cups is, can be a little bit tricky. It is, you know, the Lord of illusionary success. You know, I think some of you have realized that whatever it is not going to work, and you just got to accept that little bit of defeat, you know. But I don't think it's anything you did. I don't think it's anything they did. It's just, you just can't agree. Okay, well, sometimes deals don't get done. You know, sometimes things just don't happen. But the sticking around is just making it worse, because if you have a 9 of Cups and a 10 of Pentacles kind of on the other side here, and you have some beautiful things just like poised, waiting to come into your life, you're going to need to open that channel. And that's what this is. You know, and we also have a full moon in Aries. I forget what date it is. It's coming up here pretty quick. And for you, you know, Aries is the ruler of your house of communication. And so I think that there is a need to communicate. There is a need to talk about things and to address the issue, get it out in the open. Let's just freaking hash this out so we just don't have to think about it anymore, because it's just been a drain, you know. And the Knight of Wands. Look, I'm kind of sensing that that's you a little bit. First of all, let's say this. I don't want y'all to think this is a negative reading. It's not. It's positive because it's telling me that this is getting left behind. Okay? It's getting left behind. New things are coming. And look, you are in fact a champion or a warrior. You know, you are the one that's like, oh, let's just get to the next part already. Let's just get to the next chapter. I'm tired of talking about this. I'm tired of dealing with this. I'm tired of spinning my wheels here. There's no goodness here, you know? And I think you're really going to need to be the leader, because they're going to be the real stick in the mud. You know, they're going to be a little bit wanting to have those same conversations again, wanting to talk about it, wanting to relive it almost. And this is kind of like that Aries, you know, that, even though it's a card of Sagittarius, but that Aries full moon, you know, using your words, but, you know, diplomatically as much as you can, but using your words to really accomplish and to achieve results, This reading is going to be about getting results. Otherwise, you're just going to continue to be hanging out here in the 5 and 7 of Swords situation. That's the thing about the 5 of Swords. It's like there's no winners. There's no winners here. The cost was too high. And the 8 of Swords. I am just really sensing that someone just doesn't want to let it go. They just don't want to let it go. There's resistance to the change. There's resistance to the shifts. And it's almost as though there's even a little bit of a lack of consideration for one another as well. I don't know whether it's you towards them, them towards you, or towards each other. But there's definitely a lack of consideration, narrow-mindedness. And the 8 of Swords here, though, you know, it just tells us that there's a requirement to, quote-unquote, think outside the box. I hate those types of cliches, but there's really something to that. Because like I was saying before, the creative solutions to say, okay, well, what we originally intended isn't going to work, so let's come up with something totally different. And allowing time to let those things unfold. You don't have to force it so much, you know, but you're going to really need to be the one at the front lines here. You're going to be the one that needs to initiate everything, because this is not an initiator. You know, they might kind of get things going and kind of circle back around the same type of thing, but you're going to be the one that's got to be like, no, you know, this just isn't going to work for me. I love you. I care about you. I want this partnership to work, but it's not going to work like this. So we got to find a different way to make this work because there's more on the other side of this. I know it. And if we can make it through this, we're going to be stronger than ever. But we just got to make it through this first. Let's attain that peace. Peace is the goal here. Calm, tranquility, openness, vulnerability. That's the goal. And the 9 of Wands. Courage, great strength. And it will take great strength. This situation is going to test your patience. It is going to test your ability to work with someone else, to be amenable, to be able to communicate what it is you need to someone else, and also someone's need to communicate what you need and the adjustment there. Like, let's not forget that we're dealing with 2 fixed signs or 2 fixed qualities. But right now, you are kind of taking over this mutable, right? Card of Sagittarius, a mutable sign. Mutable is flexible. Mutable is adaptable. They can twist and you know, be the little chameleon. So I think you're kind of taking on that air at this point in time. And it's going to take patience. It's going to take understanding and open-mindedness, creativity. It's going to require communication. But if you can make it through this, you're opening doors to insurmountable benefits and blessings and a really beautiful new step. Because with death always comes something beautiful on the other side of it. Okay? I don't even know how long I was talking. I may feel a little bit short, but I do hope that it provided a little bit of insight for you guys. I really wish you nothing but the best, all right? Thanks so much. Bye.